Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is the NXT Deadline pre-show prediction podcast. So tonight on the show we have Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn, Pretty Deadly versus The New Day for the NXT Tag Team title match, Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews in the NXT Championship match, Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Zoe Stark, Kiana James, and Indy Hartwell in an Iron Survivor Challenge match, and Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, Joe Gacy, JD McDonough, and Axiom in the Iron Survivor Challenge match for the men. I watch NXT. Some of it can be too much sometimes, so I don't watch every episode of NXT, but I've been watching the past couple weeks. Alba Fire, if you guys didn't know, she was the former Kaylee Ray. She's really good. This character change was really good for her. She needed the character change. Glad she got the character change. Isla Dawn came from NXT UK. She just debuted 2 or 3 weeks ago on NXT TV. She's not very well known because of the NXT UK brand, and not everybody watched that because it aired on Thursdays during the day. But I have watched some of her stuff from NXT UK. I watched a lot of her stuff from the indie circuit. But I'm going to say Alba Fire wins this. She lost to Mandy Rose. She didn't deserve to lose to Mandy Rose. It was because of Isla Dawn that she lost. So I'm going to say Alba Fire wins this match because I think if you put Alba over now, you can then build to another match. So they didn't really build to this match. They just kind of said, hey, Alba Fire, you're going to fight Isla Dawn, and that's going to happen. So I'm glad that we're going to get this match, but I think we're going to get a build for it as well. Pretty Deadly versus The New Day for the NXT Tag Team title match. Pretty Deadly, they're a fun tag team. They kind of remind me a lot of Breezango and the Fashion Police, you know. That's who they remind me of as far as their character, their work in the ring, and everything they do. So I'd say Pretty Deadly is really good. They're weird. I mean, their tag name is Pretty Deadly. Like, they're weird. But the New Day is an established tag team, and I had somebody ask me this on my TikTok earlier. This is all this is. They're only putting New Day in this match to test Pretty Deadly. They're not putting New Day in NXT. This is not to bring the New Day down to NXT and have them work with a younger talent for a substantial amount of time. This is just for Pretty Deadly for one night to work with the New Day to see if they can truly match up with anybody on the main roster. I do not think they're ready for it. I don't think they're going to be ready for it for at least another 6 months. But the New Day needs a win. They're not going to get it tonight because they're not winning the tag team titles. Pretty Deadly is going to win this match. Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is a waste of everybody's time in NXT. He's a waste of everybody's time on the main roster. He has no character. He doesn't know how to talk on the mic. His character is blinding people, and that's like the dumbest character you can have. But for the love of God, please somebody take the title off Braun Breaker. I want it to be Grayson Waller. But I think it's going to be great. If it's Apollo Crews, I'm going to stop watching NXT at this point. I mean, I've tried to build Apollo Crews to be a star. He's not a star. He's a waste of time, and he's taking time away from younger talent that deserve it more. He had an NXT run that didn't work out great. He had a WWE run that didn't work out great. And now he has another chance at the NXT run, and they're booking him like crap. He's a good talent, but he's not booked right, and he doesn't know how to talk on a microphone. So Braun Breaker is going to win this title match. Now let's get to the Iron Survivor Challenge matches, which I'm really looking forward to. So the first one being the women's. Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade versus Zoe Stark versus Kiana James versus Indy Hartwell. They threw Indy and Kiana in this just to have 2 final members. I think Indy Hartwell will work a good match. I don't think she's going to have... If she has any pinfall victories, I'll be surprised. Kiana James, she's not going to beat anybody on that list. If there's nobody in this match that you can legitimately say Kiana James can beat them. You can't. Zoe Stark, I think, wins this match. She's really good. She's really athletic. She got a heel turn on her now. She has a lot of heat on her. Cora Jade's the same way. She has a lot of heat on her. Roxanne Perez is literally just a babyface character. That's all Roxanne Perez is. Indy is trying to turn heel, but Kiana James has no character at all. I would take Roxanne Perez over Kiana. I would take any of these women over Kiana James. I can't tell you how many matches of Kiana James that I actually watch and I'll say, oh, Kiana did good in that match. She looked good in that match. And I don't say, oh, her opponent made her look good in the match. Because she doesn't look good in her matches. I think the only one that she looked good in that I said, you know what, she looked good in was Fallon Henley. And that's because that was like Fallon's first or second match on the roster. And it wasn't, great. I think Zoe Stark wins this. I think she's going to get 4 pinfall victories over these women. I don't think, though, that she's going to pin Cora Jade. I think she's not going to pin Cora. I think that Cora's going to get some pins, and they're all going to be over Roxanne Perez. None of them are actually going to be over Kiana, Indy, or Zoe. But I don't see Zoe Stark pinning Cora Jade. That's just my idea of what's going to happen. Now, the men's Iron Survivor Challenge, Carmelo Hayes, the A-champ, right? He never misses. Grayson Waller, who is just your everyday average douchebag that you don't want to have to see on TV, but you like seeing him because he's funny, right? The Grayson Waller effect. Joe Gacy's literally just a makeover of Bray Wyatt without actual character or substance or importance. The only reason he's important is because of The Rock's daughter, Ava Raine. That's the only reason he is important as a character right now. And I think he knows that. I think any wrestling fan that watches the product knows Joe Gacy's not good. He's literally a makeover of Bray Wyatt. They tried to make him into the next Bray Wyatt. It failed. They're still trying, and it failed again. You're not going to be able to put Joe Gacy in that position and say, run with this, because he has no character work substance. He doesn't know how to work a character, which is fine. It's fine right now, but in a year, if Joe Gacy hasn't developed a character in a year, like that he's developed, not that some other talent has allowed him to develop, he does not need to be in NXT or any promotion. He should be out of a job. JD McDonough is super athletic, super quick. He's one of those really good grapplers in the ring when he wants to be. He's also a really good high flyer when he wants to be. Like, there's not really much that he can't do in the ring. And Axiom, I don't like the name change of Axiom at all. I don't know why they didn't keep it as A-Kid, but and his character's fine. I mean, he's got a mask on now, but like his character's fine. He works really well in the ring. He's a really good high flyer. He's, again, really athletic, really talented, can really go in a match. I think Carmelo Hayes, though, is going to be the one to win this Iron Survivor Challenge. And the only reason I'm saying that is because they see money in Carmelo Hayes. So if he doesn't go and win this, then he's on the main roster. He's ready for a main roster run. He's been ready for the last 6 months for a main roster run. The fans have consistently said, I've consistently said, he is ready for a main roster run. I thought they were going to put him on the main roster when he dropped the North American Championship to Solo Sikoa. They did not. Now Wesley's got the title. Fine with that. Grayson Waller's a fun character. Like he's a fun character. He's a good worker in the ring. He reminds me a lot of a young Randy Orton. He's at that point right now in his career where he can either go, hey, I'm going to be a young Randy Orton, or he can be a young Ted DiBiase. And Ted DiBiase, what he ended up doing with his career is, I don't think he's working anymore in the business. He might be as a producer, but right now he's not, that I know of. But yeah, I think Carmelo has to win that match. Like, if they're not going to put the title on, if they're not going to give him the shot at Braun Breaker, then it's going to be Grayson Waller. Joe Gacy has no character and is not ready for a title run. JD McDonough is good, but he came from NXT UK. He's not really established as, oh my god, this is the next anybody else. He's kind of a flippy flop of like, if you wanted a prototype of the worst wrestler on earth, you give him JD McDonough's body with Joe Gacy's character work. He's athletic and he's good, but he's got nothing about him that screams, wow, you could be a superstar right now, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. Somebody else is going to say, no, JD's really good. He is good, but he's not at main event level yet. And Axiom's not there yet either. And the winner of this match gets a title shot at Braun Breaker. And of course, the women's match, they get a shot at Mandy Rose. I don't care who wins the women's match. Mandy Rose better not drop that title for another 6 months. I don't care what y'all. I don't care what NXT thinks. I don't care what Shawn Michaels thinks. I don't care what Triple H thinks. Right now, Mandy Rose, JC Jane, and Gigi Dolan are the only ones carrying y'all's women's division. Now, true, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade and Zoe Stark are going to elevate themselves to that point. I think after tonight, I think Indy Hartwell might as well just go ahead and go to the main roster and join Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae and Dexter Lumis. But it's just my opinion. Just my opinion. My opinion is not those of the people that watch this video. My opinion is my opinion and only my opinion. I do want to talk about something. So this past week on NXT, they had the Righteous, Butch, and what is that other guy's name? I am blanking on the other guy's name. Vincent. Butch and Vincent of the Righteous. I kind of want to see them show up tonight. I really do. They were in the crowd. I want to see them show up. I don't think we're going to get it. I think they're going to have something to do with Bray Wyatt eventually. But if they don't, then I'd like to see them show up in NXT. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. To all of you who watch this video and everybody that watches my channel and supports me, thank you. I cannot do this without y'all, and love y'all.